Going live, yes, going live. I can sit here in my videos with the few fans that I have and say something today that'll have no bearing in the future. Like today I was listening to this talk on the internet, and you hear this and you hear that, and what's true? And it really doesn't matter what's true. It doesn't, because what's true is based on what? What's true? What's true? So if I tell you a story, that's the difference. I'm telling you a story. You have to figure it out if it's true. I want to know something right now. Is it true or is it false? True and false. Fake. True. False. Fake. Real. Now, hold on a second. Is this TV? Is this television? Is it television? Good evening. Is it television? Because they say on television, but if I look up on the dictionary, is television real? And if they say no, that means anything you see on television doesn't have to be real. So the minute something is written and you see it on the TV, it's real, it's natural. It's only what you hear. You're hearing the story. No one can tell you what's real. You believe what you believe through trial and error. Science fails. Okay, science, on some science, not all sciences, sometimes it's 1 out of 10, which will be, one times it's 1 out of 100, sometimes it's 1 out of 1,000. But science fails every single time. And in certain situations, science is correct once. It only has to be right once, and the rest of the time it can fail. So what stories are you listening to, and how much do you know the truth? Hey, Tammy Lynn, let's see. And Santosh, I can't really read the name, but you're a tad. I can do a lot of stuff with that. I like to write everything in capital letters, and sometimes I take out some letters in my words and say, I can't put D in a word. I can't put D in a word. I think D should be somewhere else. I think it should be in free parking. Why would D be in free parking? Where's free parking? Monopoly. Because usually you take 500 and you put it in the middle of Monopoly. And when you land on free parking or on the 21st area blackjack, you get 500. So what do you get? Can it be you get the mirror or an extra life to who you are and why? Why D? You ever hear of WD-40? Well, the reverse alphabet is W towards D. And D, if you're going to count A, B, C, D, or just D alone. Now, if you take away D, what are we going to take away D from? Now, if I take away D from A, B, C, D, you'll just have A, B, C. A, B, C replaced with 1, 2, 3 equals to 6. So is that 60% of 100? 60 seconds on the clock, 60 minutes on the clock. But when we add 4, we get 100% of something. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 10. We have 100% or 2.5 or 1/4 of a value average when adding up. When you have 10 divided by 4 equals 2.5. 50 to earth, 25 to plug. We have Q17. Mathematics. I'm not going to get into that right now. So when you have D, imagine if the time on Earth that we run 60 seconds is because we removed D and we're only running with ABC. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 equals to 3. You mirror the 3 instead of arriving at the D, splitting the cube in half and putting on 3 different levels, 3 periods. Spin it in 3 different ways, 7, 7, and 7, 21. 7 opposites on each side with 9 and 9, 18. Take away the 7 equals 7, come 11. Let me do that again. There are 9. There are 9. I turn it around. There are 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. Then I go ahead and I take this. This is a cube. On one side, it'll be a 6, and the other side, it's going to be a 1. Now, is this real? It's as real as what's been created. Go find one online and see what the consensus is to the dice cube being this way. So therefore, if you do have two sides totaling 7 and two sides totaling 18, I want to take away the dots. And I have 7, 11. The student of the 7th gate of Pegasus. Why the 7th gate of Pegasus? Because Pegasus is 88. 8 plus 8 is a sweet 16. 1 plus 6 equals to 7. And it is the only true 7 on this cube that if I should drill holes through every black spot, only one opposite 6 will equal 77, representing matter and the word pre-Christ. Sometimes I lose myself because there's so much going on and so many branches on the, on the tree. I don't know if it's maple syrup or pine syrup or what gem there is in the land we live. All this beautiful, lush bush and gardens, right? But we've been sort of a little tied up somewhere in here. I'm not really sure how it works or how these little rings are, rings on our fingers, rings on our toes. It's telling us a story. Sometimes I remember it and sometimes I don't. Just like they say it's the dawn of the day, but the way you write dawn is D-A-W-N. And now they confused us when they're washing the duck, right? When they're washing the duck with Dawn dish soap. So for most people, they'll just see it, oh, it's Dawn. It's just a name. The names that are pushed on us, I believe, is like weaving tres and tying up the information together that it's flowing next to each other. And the vibration is just faint enough to send your thought off track and to make the wrong choice. Dawn of the day, true, fake, false, or real. You see, we don't need to know what's really true anymore, but you're right. What's true? What is true? What is true? Why do we have to know the truth? Do we have to know what truth do we need to know? What do we need to know in order to restructure who we are? We don't need to know certain things because no matter what we're going to do, right, there's a certain way of going about this and why it's going on. Part of the game, because if this has been refabricated through a greater science, why are we capable, or why does it seem like we're capable of finding the true understanding of what it is to the word I am? I was just watching something and a guy says, hey, I'm a dude. And I'm going, hey, why didn't you go I am? He said I'm with an apostrophe. Just one little apostrophe. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, so that is a number 9, the apostrophe. I can't even write it. Apostrophe. Oh my God. And then I got to remember 88. You see, 88, Pegasus, the 7th gate, a sweet 16. Pegasus, the 7th gate, the sweet 16. Sugar, aspartame. Supper, I wrote supper. I got to write 16. And then you get to red, and you go to blue, and you go to purple. And now you got to go to Republican and Democrat, and it keeps going on because of the red and the blue, which is also hot and cold. And it's funny that they have the blue devil, right? They have the blue devil. And the blue devil is cold. And they have the red devil, right? It seems like cold devil seems to work better than red devil. But when you say the word red devil and cold, one starts with an R and ends with a D. The other one starts with a C and ends with a D. So I have to understand or help you understand what that is. Now, the R is the 18th letter I'm just trying to take a look in which 18 is 1 plus 8 equals to 9. Now that 8 and 9, the one spirit and the 8 heaven, when it plays out on the cube, the 8 heaven is here, but the 7 is over here. 1 and 2 come together in that numeric piece that I just spoke about. R is 9 and C to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 2 equals to 9. How do we get to 18? I'm not really sure, but I was just showing you that your 18 is right over here. This is your 18. We were talking about Pegasus. I'm going to get a drink of water. I'm going to come back. I'm going to try not to forget what I was talking about. I'll talk about golf if you want. I'm going to explain it really basic. And if you have any other questions, I know I might not be able to finish the piece on it. And let me just see what's going on here. Matter equals mother correct. Matter, mother correct, correct. So if you're correcting something, something is wrong. If you're correcting something, is it finished? 18, 18. So the 360 degrees are divided up by 180 degrees and 180 degrees. Certain numbers that don't fit in, we change. Instead of saying 18, we'll say 180. Or how about 280 or 380 or 480? It's just the next level up. Or 580 or 680 or 780, like wafers, right? And the next level up, right, that if I would just keep going 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, it means the number on the left in the 10th position is changing its level. Number on the right stays the same. Also, if I go 18, 1 and 8 is 9. If I go 28, 2 and 8 is 10. 1 plus 8 equals to 1. The next level up from 18 starts back to the number 1, which becomes I. If you didn't follow that, I'll explain it again. If you would say, here, let me write it down, then I'm going to get something to drink. If you go, because this is a piece I've been working on, and that's lost somewhere in my bookwork here. Like sometimes I got 4 or 5 books open at a time, and I shouldn't, because I go out of the house, and they're saying, you're out of the house, so you're with me. Why don't you pay attention? I go, I'm paying attention. I'm writing down some notes, you know. And everybody wants to know where they are. I want to know where I am over here. I think it's pertinent that we share the truth so we can recalibrate everything that's going on. And now, even if you take my channel for entertainment purposes only, that's okay. So here we go, 28, 38. We got the gold, 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 23, 32. 2 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 2. 1 times 8 equals to 8. 1 plus 8 equals to 9. 9 and 8 equals to 17Q. So when we have this, 1 and 8 is 9, 8 and 2 is 10, then it becomes 1. This becomes 11, 2. This becomes 12, 3. This becomes 13, 4. This becomes 14, 5. And this is dividing of the 7th gate right over here. You see, number 5 is special because 5 is half of everything, apparently, in 10, right? 5 and 5. Although this is my 5th finger, and I got to go to my other hand for the other 5th finger, right? So once we get to 5 that divides everything, I should mark it like this. Hold on a second. Got to get that drink, and I just keep seeing other pieces that I'd like to add in. So when we go, since this is the center, I'll go 4 times 5 equals to 20. 6 times 5 equals to 30. Are we waiting for the year 2030? The letter M is 4, 5, and 6 if you have to look at it in Roman numerals. 4, 5, and 6. This last one over here happens to be Mars, but it's a Saturn planet. How they're intertwined together. The letters that go along with this are the Fed, like Federation, 11, 9. They also use this in the game of cribbage. And they run 15 and 15, okay, eggs, okay, into a key tray. And then I think they have a dozen, 1 dozen keys, okay, times. Did I get this right? 1 dozen keys. How's that work? I'm trying to remember. I think the key tray. I have to look this up. I don't know. I am jumping into this. Hold on a second. How many eggs in a key tray of a box of? Hold on a second. No. Farmer's key tray of eggs. There are 30 eggs, and how many in a case? 132. Answer. Hold on a second. Well, it's either 150 or 180, and let me just tell you something. If it's 150, so you have to have a story for everything, right? So if it's 150, right, we're going to relate that to Mars and also quarter of time, because Mars and Earth, their numbers come together depending on how you use them, right? 51 is Mars, 15 minutes in a game, in 4 quarters, right? So since you now have quarters, Earth's relationship to Mars is in quarters. The numeric value to Earth and the connection to Earth, which is the word jack, right, is 25, which is a quarter. Earth is 52. And both 2 and 5, just like 1 and 8, will create 17Q. It creates the gateway. It's the only one on this cube. It's this one over here. This one over here. I'm going to get that drink of water. I'm going to come back. I opened up a lot of branches. I'm going to finish this 4, 5, and 6, the way the game of crib age came out. And the cribbage comes out, and it ends at, where does cribbage end? Hold on a second. I want to make sure I see where cribbage ends, not to make a mistake. How much is the pointage in cribbage? 120, I think. Yeah, I don't see it here. Can you get 26 points in cribbage? You can get, anyways, let me just look. Yeah, it's 120. So 120 is a relationship to an egg. 120 is a relationship to Mars. 120 has a relationship to the moon. 120 has a relationship to darts at the game of pool. And the reason for that is when you add up 1 to 15, 1 plus all the numbers to 15, it equals to 120. Now you go that times 16. Anyways, I'm not going to get that, looking for the combinations. Then when you add up 1 through 20, it equals to 210. Now the moon diameter is 2,160 miles, to where it's 1.5 times the number of minutes there are in a day. Now, since time has been split, right? When you took D out, like I spoke in the beginning of this video, when you take D out, if we added D back on, how much more time would we have? D is 4. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 is 6. Let's use it as 60 and 40, 60, 40, which is a representation of the house of DC. Let me get a glass of water or something. 40, 60. I'm just trying to see what that relationship is. And 40, 60, half of that is 20, 30. And we're back to over here, the M letter, the big M, or the big T, Mars time. They also use it for 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, or the 13th letter M creates the C and the D for McD's. Be back in a minute. I just don't like to stop and forget, just give me a minute to take a breath. Oh, fuck. Just give me a minute. I need a towel. Kitty cat. I'm going to shut some lights. Little concentration. Yeah, I shut the fridge off. Shut the light off. I need the energy behind me sometimes, and sometimes I don't want it. I feel like it's keeps pulling like this field, this energy field, like through me, and it seems like there's sometimes more information. All depends what's there, especially fires. Okay, let me read what I see. A goose and a gander, farm of eggs. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Whoa. Okay, I got to 1818. Let me go through them one by one. 48 gold. Well, gold you can see is 48, but Pluto is 48 and being the last planet, right? Which is also sort of the first planet, right? I mean, what's ironic is as we count to 10, the reality for me, right? And I'm seeing characters on TV, is the reality for me is it is the 5 fingers and 4. Something to do with they always have the thumb, right? Do they always have the thumbs? So if you always have the thumbs, you got 3 fingers and 1. We got 5 fingers. Why do we have 5 fingers, right? We got 10. We have on each side. What's going on with our, our limbs? So there's our limbs, our lambs. You know what I'm saying? So many things that's going on with that. So yes, gold is Pluto. Gold is the sun. Gold is the sun and the ring. Now, where's my dice cube? Please give me my dice cube. I saw something today with this. I was thinking of something. I wrote it down. I wrote it down. Thank God I remembered. Oh my God. I didn't want to forget. Something to do with this cube. Something to do with this cube. Hold on a second. First, I'm thinking A, B, C, D, where we have 60 and 40. I know I should be writing this down and showing you, right? When I see information, I just see other stories. First, okay, so let me finish with this piece I was working on. Let me do it one at a time. There's too much information here. So you have all this, right? Till you get to 98. Now the cube, right? Now, I don't know why I don't have any left. I put them in my pocket. I take them wherever I go. So when let's say we get 6 and 8, we already know that the 8, right, is 51-6. This, which is the number to the queen, okay, is going to show me the number to Mars, 51, 6, and 8. So we know right over here we're going to be showing a split. Or oh yes, that was the thing what I was talking about. These two, right, the center of these two, of 1 and 6, include 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when you hold the dice cube on the pole position, you will be holding, okay, let me holding, you'll be putting 1 here and 6 here, and you'll be 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're looking at 7 and then 7. So, and then when you do it again, the 2 and the 5, right, you're going to have on the outside the 1 and the 6, and inside of here is going to be 3 and 4. So here you have 3, and here you have 11. So you have C, K. So there's a possibility that when they created the word clock, it comes from this reality, and this reality here is where Earth comes in. And then when you crisscross them, it becomes 51 Mars, 62 the Queen, in which on my last page I was talking, I should finish this, but I'm going to finish this. So what happens now is what we're going to do is we're going to show you the opposite. So 1 and 6 come together right over here. And we see that there's a division over here. And the reason there's a division over here is because of this addition, 13. The alphabet splits between these two over here. This is telling me about a fox. Now, here's the part that you have to think. The fox is a passage. It's an area that's on the front line. You have the things fox and front line. I call it the fox pass, but in the wars they were using fox and front line. X and O is love and kisses. They also show you it's root 66, right? In fact, it's root 666 because these letters in gematria and added up to a single digit in the Pythagorean count, right, is F6, O15, X24, 2 and 4, 6, 1 and 5, 6 and 6. And then when you take the magic calculator to see what the world thinks, they put it in this order. So let's see what's in this order. 3 times 2, 6. Three times 2 equals to 6. Next one down. 3 times 5 equals to 15. The 15th letter is the letter O. The 6th letter is the letter F. Then we have the 8. So 3 by 8 equals to 24. Whoop. And the 24th letter is X. So when you write a love letter, isn't this what you're doing? X's and O's. This is 1 and 5, 6, 2 and 4, 6, and this is 6. This one is going to be 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 4 is 8. And this one is what 0 equals 6 equals 11 equals to 14 equals to 6, 2, 5. I'm not going to get into what all this means right now. This is the queen, and then Earth's plug comes in here. Your C creation comes over here because of the math. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 1 equals to 2 plus 1 equals to your 3 base creation from 1 and 1. So what is 11? 11 creating 33. It's creating a recreation. And it's doing that through the sun or through the love tunnel. And that's where Jack comes in, because we take Jack, and here's the J letter, right? But we take that J letter and we do it again, right? So we did one J, and then we have the other J over here. X marks the spot. So we have like that. And that's your Jack and in love over here. And then I seen something today. Now, what would this be? Well, I don't know what this is. This is a heart. And what happens is when you put one heart and an upside down heart right over it, you get that magical 88, and it is the connecting heavens. So when you multiply it, 8 by 8 equals to 64. 8 plus 8 equals to 16. This totals to 80. 6 and 4 is 10. 6 and 1 is 7. 1, 7, 17Q, 17, 71, 7 and 1, 8, 7 and 1, 8, or 1, 5, 1. Because 7 and 7 equals to 14. 1 plus 4 equals to 5. So now we split it up this way. Just doing the center. When we add it up, 7 and 1 is 8, 7 and 1 is 8. The word Pegasus is 88. It's the square constellation to the numeric value for square, and it connects to Venus, the Venus sun, or a dividing sun. The reverse alphabet of V is E. Sun equals to 13 and 5, matter and energy, if you want to look at it that way. There's a multitude of information and equations that are out there that's been shared with everybody on this planet that goes to look for it. But if you don't ask the question and you don't know what's missing, then how can you find it? And when you find it, it's because you've discovered it through your science, through your personal based science of how to look a little bit deeper into something that is in plain sight. So now we showed you the 8, the 88. I also showed you that we revert back to Q, and we revert back to Q through 5 times 2, 5 plus 2, which is Earth and Jack. 25, 5, 2, 2, 1, 2. 5 times 5, 25. 2 and 5 is 7. 272. 5 plus 5 is 1. Now we add them together, becomes 282. Into the house of bait, into the cycle of man, into the e-world of creation, beta jack. Where do I get these numbers? This is a star system in which the X and the addition go over. So therefore, in plain sight, addition and multiplication creates a star, and you find the star right there on the 8. 7 is with and. Have you ever written down the word and before? You ever write down that word? Right? And. D-N-A. And. Right? The numeric value, just like AI. It's reverse alphabet. We're not going to get into right now because there's many ways to do reverse alphabet with or without the vowels. I just want to see where I am right now. Yes, because the 3 times 3, right? This, right, in star system math will equal to this. This, when I multiply it, will equal to this. And the word love is number 54. The word tunnel, I don't remember what the word tunnel is. Let me do this. And this you can do a lot of things with this word because you can take away one. Although there are this many letters, if I take away one letter, it tells me a different story. So this is 28, and this is 41, is 69, and 17, 69, 79, 86. Wow, the divided gate of the house planet, right? 6 and 2, reverse 5 and 1. How about if we go 4 and 4? It's going to be reverse 33. This is for space. Take away D500. 500D. It's a Roman numeral. RN, Roman numeral. Roman. So where are we with this? So we multiply it, we end up with this, and we add it, we end up with this. So we get the sun and the Mars in rotation. So we see number 69, and we draw it out. Here's number 9, and here's number 6. And if we want to take it a little bit deeper, we create a little bit of a form from the skeleton they gave to work with us. They gave the good and evil the same tools to work for the goodness of all. And we use the same tools. And once we find out what has been hidden amongst the branches, what we haven't gone to look for because we're so busy just trying to survive. We're in survival mode. We don't know when enough is enough. We abuse, we overconsume because we are being occupied and we're losing time that cannot be bought. So we are not in the right place. Our vibration is not sending us the right signals. Mother's little helper to distort the signals, the white noise that is not letting you go where you need to be, where you actually desire to be. And you desire to be there unknowingly just by the choice of the moment. And at any one moment, when you're pondering and you feel a little sad or you feel a little hurt, it is that moment, okay, that you shouldn't actually be there, but demanding to go to that happy place. And that happy place is to know the difference, is to know what you're doing is right. I didn't say this is an easy world, but you know what? How can it be easy? What I see is as the, and we were told this many, many times, right? We can control what is in a certain area space, to the best of our ability. But what is outside of our area space, we have to work with it in order to survive with it. And the word is nature. And we have to understand, in order to work with things, we had to create these tools. And one of the tools we created, one of our greatest tools, is the tool of time. You don't have to see it that way. But for me, I'd like to hear more places we can put more definitions of the word time. Time is a tool. So some say it's a construct. So I really don't know what they mean, their meaning of it's a construct. You mean it was made up? Yeah, it was made up so we understand things, so we can calibrate to get back that good vibration, right? But then we would say, well, how did we lose that good vibration? How come we weren't born perfect? Because to attain liftoff with a plane, you go against the wind, not with the wind. You use it in your favor when there's tension. And also, nature is wild, right? There's certain, I mean, you don't really know. You have a fire, a controlled fire in the fire pit, and you're controlling that fire. But while it's in the pit, you see it like doing all kinds of stuff. But what if you can't control nature? So maybe we're here as part of the greatest fleshy AI, the gas, what's in the air. Maybe we are that energy and matter in the air that's flying around, trying to work with nature, okay? Trying to work with it, building on it, building these bubble domes all over the place. That should something from the outside come in and break one of the hexagons, one collapses, another one opens up. One collapses, another one opens up. Okay, so number 88, another thing about number 88, the Monopoly board. Everybody that plays Monopoly knows or thinks there are four corners. One of the corners is go. One of the corners is visiting jail. One of the corners is free parking, number 21. And one of the corners is jail. So you're in jail, you're on property or area space, number 31. When you're in free parking, you're on 21. 11 is visiting jail, and 1 is at home. 1, 11, 21, 31, 1. And if you're playing Monopoly, you know that all the corners are square and all the areas are rectangular. So either it's 2 rectangles, right? 2 rectangles all the way around the band. But no matter what we do, I still have to start out with these squares. I haven't seen a book, and maybe there is, but it would be a special book where they sell books that are not squares, but they're rectangles. But since I'm working with this, I will tell you that once you create the rim of Monopoly, you will have 40, the original 40, and then you'll have the border of 40, turning everything into a rectangle. 2 high on every property, 9 by 2, 18, 18, 18, 18, 72. And 4 blocks in each corner, 4 by 4, 16. They put blocks in the corners, columns in the corners, tracks in the center. That would be 4, 8, 16, and 72, 88. The extremity of Monopoly is 88. The interior is 80 plus 1. 81. 8 times 8, 8 plus 8. The 7th gate going, and in quadrants where all the train tracks go, where the tracks own both sides, plus the tracks. The tracks are 11, 11, 11. Watch out for all the trains. Watch out for the trains, wherever they may be. The new ones are coming to town. The trains. The sled ride is Santa's sled, the 11. 9/11, the birth in the house of the 7th gate. Now, I lost myself for a second. Oh, I'm not happy about that. I was leading up to something. Just give me a second. I'm going to Give me a second. So I was talking about number 69. I was talking about Monopoly. Yes. So the border of Monopoly, I'm going to show you this. Here, I'm just going to draw it up for you. So this would be Monopoly, right? There's 4 squares here. There's 1 square here. There's 2 here. So it's 4, 2, 2, 2, 2. And then here, right, is the train. You know what I'm saying? If I go 2, 2, 2, 4, 6, and then I go 1, 2, 2, 2. And then I go down like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go like that, and this will be 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So here is going to be 9. 9 times 2 equals to 18. Plus 4 equals to 22. Plus 4 equals to 26. So that would be this line over here. So this line over here would also equal to 18 and 4 and 4, 26. There are only 26 blocks on Rubik's Cube, but that's okay. There's one in the center. Here's, let me see, 2, 4, 6, and here's the block in the center, and 2, 4, 6. So I shouldn't have done it there. It was here. I didn't do that properly. Sorry about that, but that's okay. Forget about this one here. I hate to write messy, and I did. I wrote messy. I don't like that. I don't like to be messy. I get excited. I see I have a bigger vision. I didn't finish with this either. This was your 69, and they're your wings, right? And now we have to connect these wings. I forgot about this. Back this up 2 minutes, and now you connect these wings, and it goes here, and you connect the wing, and it goes there. So you have one entry this way, one entry that way, but you can keep on building on this, and then you'd cut that way, and you'd cut that way, and we go down here and we do the same thing. You notice this thing like 2 ships. There should be 3 levels of this. Anyways, back to Monopoly. So what you have is 4 by 18 equals to 72. And then you got the 4 corners, the 4 plus 16 equals to what is your 88. I was also talking before about, man, I'm sorry that I'm jumping back and forth, and I forgot to mention something that here tunnel. This is the divided house of DC, the 7th gate, because 6 and 8, which is a 7, and here's your mass, and this would be into the sun. 6 and 9 connecting Mars is where your 8 is the reverse. This is the division between night and day, which is also 42. I'm going to explain it to you. 4 times 4 equals to 16. 4 plus 4 equals to 0. 8 plus 8 equals to what is 24. 24 hours is the day, creates the numeric 24, the 24 hours a day, in which you get 2 times 4 equals to 8. 2 plus 4 equals to 6. The word house and planet is 68. It's also the division of what is the 7th gate. Here's your 6 and 8. Now let's go a little bit deeper. 4 by 3 equals to 12. 4 plus 3 equals to 0, 7. You now have AI. And note that in games, the ace, okay, plays its home inside the 9. The design, the ace dot puts its home inside of the 9, and so does the 5 card. Both the 5 and the ace are inside the 9, but we're not going to look at it that way because this is the E-world that was created by 4. 4, the 4 dots with the 1 dot of the ace fits in to what is the 9 card. The numeric value for the word 4, 5, and 9 is 42. So you know the world of this is the dividing gate, and that's where 60 shows up. The word 4 equals to 60. That's where 68 shows up. The 0, I'm not going to explain this. This has to be explained a little bit deeper, so I'm not going to get into that. Just to note that 6 and 9 is 15. 1 plus 5 equals to 6. 9 and 8 in the alphabet are one of the same. So the 8 and 9, since 1 and 2 are working together all the time, right? 1 and 2 works together, they're base 3. When 1 and 2 come together, you get 1, 7, and you get 2, 8. And the reason for that is when you take Rubik's Cube or your calculator, you have 9, you only see 2. If you have 9 here and 9 here, and I work this in the same formation because looking at the other sides shows me all the empty spaces, I fill it up by understanding this, and this is what's happening. 7 and 8 come together. The king and the queen, the gateway to the heaven. Why do we get king and queen? Because I take out the deck of cards, and the queen has 4 times 2 eyes. 4 and 2 also represents the cat. 3, 1, 2, or 10, 4 communication. 104 times 3. Base recreation is times 3. To recreate the mirror, it's times 4. This one would be 416, would be that number. So now I have to find a different formation for this better understanding. I know it tells me about purple. When I add 12 to this, the 4 ball and the 12 ball are the purple ball and pull. 416 is home, king, church, spirit, and it still has to be discussed and grinded down. There's a lot of work that goes into everything. I don't have all the answers. Queen is also, we're asking about the October, why the 8 symbol for octo, but yet it's the 10th month, right? 8 and 1, right? 8 and 1 right over here. Fits right into the program. The numeric value for October is, I think, 78 or 87. The numeric value, when you add up 1 through 12, right, it equals to 78. When you add up 1 through 13, it equals to 91. We now have the spirit, or AI again, and it shows up when man shows up. Number 13. I got to get a glass of water. I'm going a little bit all over the place. I want to see if I left anything out. Okay. Let me go down. 17 hue. Let me tell you this story. Today, I saw a pull. Hold on. I saw a Pollock man today. No, I saw a Pollock E-man today. Has anybody ever seen a Pollock E-man? Policy man. Policy man. I met a policy man today. Anyways, yeah, so let me look through this. 56, yes, 5 and 6, 56. The word 3 is number 56. The word wolf is number 56, but go with the flow, it's also 56. 7 equals to 65, which is the true 11. 5 and 6, 11, the only way to make it on the cube. And when you make 5 and 6, 11 on the cube, right? When you make 5 and 6, 11 on the cube, you get 6 and 5 on the other side. I'm not doing the magic. It's out there. This is the truth in the casinos. Right now, check casinos out right now. I want the whole world right now to check it out if this is the same. And for how many years has it been like this? Look at the deck of cards that they're playing in the casino. Is it professional? Is it or is it amateur? AU comes together. They're talking about the gold. The gold is pliable. Professional. I have to think about that, but I don't want to get into that. I don't have enough information about it. I was still talking about Monopoly. Yes, I want to finish that piece on Monopoly right here. So in Monopoly, the outside border here, right? This outside border here has 88 of these little squares. And then here's the trains over here. And the trains take up 66, 6, and 6, and 1. 25, Earth's number. And then in between here, once that takes up 25, we end up with 113 in the kitty. 112 plus 1 equals 113. 11, 13. 11 creates 3. KC, Kansas City. Is it the Wizard of Oz? The Wizard of Oz equals to 77 in Chaldean in the alphabet. 77 GT, the pyramid of the seventh gate, or the cat's ears. 7, 7, 66, 66. I'll get to that after. So that means we are going to have 56 left over. 113 and 56, 169, or 13 by 13, or 4 by 4, or 3 by 3, or 7 by 7 equals 49. 7 plus 7 equals to 14, equals to 63. This is our higher self of light creation through what is the matter of Christ in the teen and mass division of night and day inside the sun. Now, where does all this show up? And I'm going to go back and explain it to you. This is the size of the Monopoly board. It's 13 by 13. The trains take up this area, and the outline takes up that area. There are 81 on the outside, on the inside, and 88 on the outside, equaling to 169. This equals to the word square. This one equals to what is Pegasus, what is purple. And as I spoke previous, when I first began, it's that red and blue Republican. And democratic, and demolition, and repossession, to where the demons and the phobias of Mars moons. The Mars moons are Phobos and Deimos, like phobia and demons, like the die or the dice cube, a single cube over here. So there's also there's a bird also that comes out of this one, or both of them. I'm not really sure, but so whatever I do can be found somewhere else. So let me take a little bit of a breather. So that's how Mars. That's how the Monopoly board comes together. And then I'm going to just show you that if the trains own both sides of the track, right, I have to do this to the design, right? And now I'm going to have 9, 9, 9, 9. And now the trains are going to own 6, 6, 6. Okay, we can no, it has to stop. The next one goes over here. Sorry, right? Because it's going to own 6, 6. Sorry, not 6. Let me see. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. It's going to own 4, 4, 4 over here, and 2, 2, 2 over here. 6. Did I get that right? 1, 2, 3. Let me do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. 4 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2. Right. So it's 4 and 2, 4 and 2, 4 and 2. So it's 6, 6, 6. Okay, all the way up to here. Let me see if I can color that in. So they're all 6, 6, 6, right? But you do this one,
You can't do both of them. You can't do both of them. The cube says to me that I can either do this one or this one. I can either do this one as the H, or I can do it that way. When I do it that way as the I letter, 5 and 2 earth go up. When I do it this way, 4 and 3 go up. The divided gates of the heavens. Here's my H. Why? Because the 1 plugged in will connect those letters together. And also inside of here, I'm going to create this N H Z N H Z. Hold on, no I. MARS, reverse alphabet. Where do I get that from? When I get the center dot with 3 dots in games, I can start connecting my dots. But for Z, I have to turn it this way. So when I go for a Z, right? When I go for a Z, I have to take this cube, right? And it has to be standing up like this, or it has to be lying down like this. So this is my Z, and this is my north-south facing, is my H. And that's where my H comes in. So we see that Z and I come together, and H and N come together because of how I have to put this cube. Here is my N and my H. I can do it. Otherwise, both for the I got to put it this way. So now I have here becomes 26 and 9 equaling to 35. And this is 8 and 14 equals to 22. So the total is 57. And the numeric value for Mars, reverse, is 51. 3 by 19 and 3 by 17. Mars Q into the AI moon. The sun is 18. Reich, the Third Reich. So we're going to finish with this and how many we're going to use up. So we've gone and we're stopping over here because I can pass this because actually in these rows over here, right, I got 6 all the way down to here, right? So I got 6, 7, 8. Anyways, it's 13. I can go 13, 13, 13. I can say 39, but I want to stop at square. So if I stop at square here, I have this. That means my plug-in battery, right? We'll do that. And that'll be, let me see what this is over here. I want to see what I have. The total over here will be, did I stop that there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 10, 15. So this one's going to be 16 and 16. So now we're going to go 7, 7. So now in between all my 9s, I now have what is 7, and then I'm going to have 9, and then I'm going to, no, wait a second. I'm going to do the full piece. I'm going to do this full piece. I should rip this out and show you this again. I'm going to rip it out, but I'm going to write it on here and do it again because I don't like that. I have a total here of 16 and a total here is 16. So that's 32. I have a total over here of 18 and 18. 18 and 16. Now, this is very important because in roulette, right, it's 16, 17, 18 in roulette. Very important, okay? Just very important. This one inverts to what is 19. This one inverts to 21. When you crisscross them, 26 and 16 and 21 is 37, and 18 and 19 is 37. This is your game house cube creation. Just telling you that because the numeric value to cube is 31. So anyways, we're going to count them up. We have 16 and 16 and 18 and 18. So we have 16 and 16 equals 32. 18 and 18 equals 36. And the house of DC is 68. And we have a total of 68, the dividing gates of DC. And you know, cold is 34. And hot is 43. And when we turn the color it turns into 88, although this equals 7. AI goes into the moon. This one will be 64 and 16 equals to 80. This will be your connecting heavens to where O is. O is Mars. Okay, I'm going to have to read some of those comments because this thing just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I am boiling. Funny you said that. Farm fresh eggs. Farm fresh. Yes, another word. Pander, Jack 25, Earth 52, the Cube 17. Whoa. I just got a whole new bunch of messages that were hidden. I'm going through the messages, so if you want to see where I am, I don't know if you can get into my head. What is realizing the Kraken exactly is that Pandora's box thing. Elohim says Kraken is Judo-Christian tradition. Elohim, slaves, and Kraken. KKKR, rack 'em up. Let's play pool. 15 balls divided by 7 and 7 with the 8 ball and 1 ball used in order to continue the blood flow, the blood clot. We got the one stick and you got the dot. You got the dot and the line. You have it on different angles and you're recreating every geometric shape that existed. Power suck. Doesn't everything melt? Oh, no, just going to be for 15, 20 minutes. The temple is in the brain. There's no external. Silence of the limbs, diabetes, stories. 8 is great. Yes. That's an old one. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 6, 3, 4. CK, then the clock. CK. C creates K using 2 and 1 and seen as 2 and 1 in the 21st letter. 11. The 11th letter in the alphabet is K. 1 plus 1 equals to 2. 1 times 1 equals to 1. 1 plus 2 equals to 3. 3 is C. So we're going to go C. Now the 21st letter is U. 2 plus 1 plus 3 equals to 6, F. And then we get that. Now when it comes to the egg, right, in French it's O-E-U-F. So when we add up 1 through 5, it equals to 15. O, 5 is E. When we add up 1 through 6 equals to 21. 21 is U, and 6 is F. We have O, E, U, F, egg, 36, 360 degrees, 100%, or 3/4 of something running in ABC, mirroring what is in the house of D. Living 3 parts. The missing part is in D 500. Monopoly. D 500 Roman numerals. The house we play in is MD. We need 1000 for a Roman numerals M, which is because it's the house of CC. 100 or 10,000. 10,000 souls are on the line because of X, man. X is Roman numerals 10. 10 by 10 equals 100. 10 by 10 equals 100. So when you create the 4 X's in the house of Mars, right, although you're getting 96 and 12 times 8 equals to 96, you're also getting the blue world 40. And what's the missing part is that Roman numerals is 10. So 10 times 10 equals to 100. And that is 100C. Did you follow me with that? Was I going too fast over that? So we're playing the whole world is over here. So if we're playing the whole world, right, that whole world ends up to be basketball. Because we're now playing 12-minute quarters. So we have to readjust, okay, these 12 minutes and understand the difference with the 15 minutes using the 4 quarters, right? So let me see if I can write slower. I don't like to write slow. See, that's the house of bait. And 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 equals to 18R equals to 09I. Born inside the sun in the house of bait, 27. 3 times 9, 27. Also found right over here. If you just take out these two, you'll have 7 in between. You'll have 3, 1, 3. And when you do the artwork, you get that. And if you do another one of those, right, you end up with this as an empty space. This is an empty space. This is an empty space. Just trying to see if I can, I'm just trying to understand. Anyways, I can't really see what's going on over here. Yeah, so I put all this is empty space. Because all I created or designed or drew up is, where's the pen? Let me see. Okay, here. So all I really did is I did this one here. And this one here. And by putting these two together, it creates an empty space here, here, and here. So you see that bubble gum wrapper that ties it all together? You can probably make a passage here, a passage here, passage here, passage here, maybe do an intertwining in the center. So the hexagon is a base design. Also in baseball, it's 4 balls and it's 3 strikes. So inside the hidden reality is every time you get one of these, you have to be throwing a ball. So in every pitch is a ball. Anyways, the action pitch is 3 and 2 plus the A pitch. This is the action pitch. You're either going to walk or you're going to be on base because, believe it or not, and I believe it, that before you build, you have the plans. So the creator, before they started to build, they had to create the plans. So that was another day. So what was the day of rest? So we're going back to basketball. So basketball, what times 12? I think it's 1.25 times 12. Yes, I can show you it here, I think. 1.25 times 12 equals to 15. So those numbers do a lot of connections. I'm not going to get into everything. I'm getting a little bit tired right now. I think I'm going to go through some of the questions, some of the comments. I still have to finish with Monopoly, though. We were talking about. This is funny. Well, it's not really funny. I hope it's not frustrating. So we were talking about, we had 9 here and 9 here and 9 here and 9 here. Then we talked about the trains own 68 and 1 is in the center to all. Where we go, 1 goes all. So this center owns this entire area over here. So this is no longer what was 6, because this entire area is owned by the zone, and that zone is 9. So you now have 1 and 8 zone. You now have the zonage. So inside the house of bait, it is now owned in the zone. Mars is one of those zones. Mars, if depending on how you want to do this, that is Mars. And don't forget, I can complete, if I'm going to be backwards, I'm going to be completely backwards, making everything still the same. And this is Earth. 22 go. ape, bust, creating 4 and 4, creating what is the division of the house of what is the queen of Pluto. $62, $26 is the card game. The total is 52. It's going to be 4 suits. It's going to be the club. I didn't draw this properly, but anyways, we're in the clubhouse. The club has the bottom of the diamond, right? But is it the clubhouse, or are we living in a spade? Spade is used to dig the grave, because inside this spade, you can see the club, you can see the heart, and you can see half of what the diamond is right over here. So that's questionable. I'm just putting it out there. So we went through all this. This is where the House of DC divides, and the odds on this, right, are 7-6. And since Earth is number 52, we're going to call that 7. And since Mars is 51, we're going to call that 6. And sometimes in the gateway in the House of 88, we'll call that 17 and call it 1776. In the gateway of 1771, which is the House of Pegasus and Pluto, 88, 84. Now, depending on how you want to look at this, we can add it up to 172. And this 172 is going to revert back to right over here, the 7th gate. And then it's questionable. 7 and 1 is 8. 7 and 2 is 9. Where does that all come from? Some of the numbers, some of the things I haven't spoken about is where does 18 come from? And I like to say it comes from the word 13 or the word Jupiter. But ironically, that when you add them together or you multiply them, you get 1881. Now I can play with numbers and say take off 100, we'll have 1771. And then again, we're referring to this on the cube, what I believe. And then we keep playing, doing the math and understanding where everything is. So we did that. We got the 68. We have the one in the center for 69. So once we get rid of the 69, right, in the center for the trains, we are going to add up 100 and, oh, it's just going to be 100. That's going to, it's 100 or it's 101 and 68. So this would be 6 and 1, and this would be 6 and 2. I'm just trying to look what this is. So the basketball is 1.25 times the matter to make up for the difference. Earth and Mars come into this. I don't know if I have enough energy to continue putting stories together, but I'm going to read through the rest of 99 Reboot, Alphabet Fox, Frontline Area, Love and Kisses, yeah, Get Your Kicks, yes, Sweet Super Sugar, Zexy. Yes, the other thing I wanted to do, let's check this out. I'm going to do this. You know, in roulette, they have packages of 12 because it's the 9 birth with the 3 base creation. 9 birth, 3 base creation, 9 birth, 3 creation. So and there's more than it. 36, 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 equals to 18 and 9, 27. The 3 by 6, 18, I refer to the one spirit of the resident angel. And this is just pieces and parts that I have not, you know, it's not solid that the letter R looks like a 1 and 2 coming together. The letter R is the 18th letter reverse. It is the I. It is within itself. I, as we all know, is I am who I am. I was going to talk about apostrophes, right? You may put 2 or you put 1.
those little dots. If it doesn't have a little dot and a line, it's going to refer to 9, whether you're talking about I9 or 9 and 9, 18. So if you split 9, the difference between this is the way I look at it. When you bar it, right? When you bar it this way or you put it this way. So again, the pillars, I have to just write this down. The pillars are the corners in Monopoly. Well, I can't think. I can't think. I lost my trend of thought. So we had 88 plus 68 plus 1 equals to 140, 157 plus 12. That's the way this has to come down. I mean, there's a whole breakup, right? The corners, not the corners. Okay, we're going to leave that. We went through Heinz 57, which is the reverse of Mars. 33, Sun Love Tunnel Jack, yes. 83 would be the church, the electricity in the church. That creates electric company. Electric company is 1 and 2. You play 1 dice, you play 2 dice, you get 10 times the money in Monopoly. Hey, Mrs. Watkins, how you doing? Or Ms. Watkins, or Mr. Watkins, or all Watkins. That would be power. Jesus, love, energy, absolutely. Real science and persecution makes a real scientist. Okay, I'm not fully getting it. Beta Jacks 99. You play jacks, you have to let the ball fall and then pick up the jacks. Alpha star, questionable. Beta star and alpha star. Alpha omega, when the horseshoe goes around the ring that is in the center. What's happening? Is it an unlucky horseshoe? Be like Andy without the Y. So Y is the division, it is the earth. And also, the more times you have a line in your star, the more angle there's going to be, or the less area space per angle. When you're going to design, when you do the Y, you end up with 120, 3. When you do the D, you end up with 90, 9. If you do a 5 area space, you end up with 9, 72. When you do a 6 area space, you end up with 6. When you do a 7 area space, you end up with an odd number, but you still reach the 13th moon. Okay, that would be 7 by 13. Wait a second. 364 equals to 28 times 13. Just give me a second. I'm thinking of something. Right. That equals to that. So you have 13 parts. Hold on a second. Here. 1 apparently is the center to 360. If I create that, I don't want to do that one. If I did that one, or I did that one, okay, this is 3, this is times 90 times 120. If I did this one over here, it'd be 5 by 72. So that, what would that be? What would that be? So that would be that star. So you would have to call that the Christ star. So that's the division. Or it's the end of one hand, one part of 4 5s, right? One part of 4 5s are 2 hands and our 2 legs with the 5 fingers. And then we're going to get the 6. So 6, we can do that. So now we got 6 by 60. And now we're going to get to a 7. I don't know how to exactly do it. 1, 2, what 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I didn't do that right. How can I do 7?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. 7 times 70, 60, 50, 2, 3, okay? And then over here, it would have to be 7 by, oh, this is 364. It'd be 7 by 51. Sorry. 7 by 51 equals 357. And it'd be 51 and plus 3. That's the way I would get it. So if I work with 8, right, the star system, I got 8 times 45 equals to 360. Now, does this one come out to what we're doing? Well, what happens is I take this calculator, right, and I add 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. 4 plus 5 plus 6 equals to 15. These are my puck lines, okay? And then 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals to 24. Spells the word fox, and it equals to 45, and the average is 5, and that 5 is found in the center, and it works out with this equation. This is the heaven we're in. Now, when we calculate it that we come into the game and it becomes 9 by 40 equals to 360, right? If you notice that once we get to the last one, and the fourth one is usually the mirror. So usually when you have the fourth one, it's the mirror, but I don't know from where we're going to start. Do we start counting this as 1? So we have 9, 3, 9, 6, 6 plus 3, bringing in the student through the 7th gate. Then we have 9 again. And then we have 9 again. And in the end, we have 4 that comes in. But 9 is now over here. So now 9 and 4 come together. Mars comes in with Pluto. 9 times 4, 36. 9 plus 4, 13. The total is 49. And you can go green. You can also say the word 8. You can also put 9 and 4 together. Comes back to the same number. You'd be talking about Mars and Pluto. 51 and 84 equals to 135. You can say matter and energy. You can also relate the sun into this, a passage inside of this, the e-worlds of man's creation, electric company. Where do we get man? Why number 28? Because all these are integrated in the system we live, right in our face. Happy Meal. Let me see. Let me get over here. Obtainium. Those 3 letters, obtain and obtain the minimum, and then MUI or love, or when MU come together, you have to go Fibonacci, I think, for that. Right. 1, 3, 5. I'm just trying to think where MUI comes in. 21 and 13 was 8 and 13, which is 5 and 8, right? Fibonacci, when you get up to M and U, and that's 34, the house of DC. 21 and 13, I'm just trying to think of it. 21 and 13, it's perfect. 3 and 4. And so when you hold a dice cube like that, you'll be holding 3 opposite of the 4. All the 7s are poles. The dice has 6 sides, 3 poles on the 6 sides. You need 3 poles. 31, 21. Yes. The nature of the beast. Yes. Oh yeah. There's a lot of things you can do. I need a ton of time. I need to put it in a computer system and let it spit out everything that actually matches
as we ask certain questions, because if you ask too many questions at once or throw too much paint into the same can, we'll end up with a no color. 9 by 18 is 72, 160. 162, yes, connects to the moon. 422 is 88, absolutely busting out. 2426, yes. You know what happens with 26? We start with 28, it goes to 26, then it goes to 20. But when it goes to 20, it's 20 as 12 plus 8, which is 3 and 8, the creation heaven. Right? You see what they do is they take one area and split it up into two areas. And when you split something up, you make new corners because it's the wall. If I put up a wall between that side and this side, you still have a wall in a smaller area of space. And yeah, and you do note that number 7 and 9, that their relationship is crazy. It's just crazy. Everything. There's so many things. I'm going to just say three things that I know with 7 and 9. The Q and the Z. When it comes to 7 and 9, right? I like to call this the 7 and 9. The and is with the 7. 9 is a bracket, meaning a moon. I'm saying I believe that it's a split birth. It equals to 63 and 16, which is 79 again. But this one will equal to the house 27, and this one will be man's house, and there'll be 40, and this will be 49 again. This will turn into 49. It'll be the blue house. We have the Q and the Z on your telephone on these numbers. 17Q, Z26. When you add them together, it equals to 43, the house of DC. They were both moved onto the number 1 of the keyboard. And if you notice, 1 and 7 is 8, and 2 and 6 is 8. But this is 12 plus 8, and this is 7 plus 8. This is the multiplication, right? And when you do that, you end up with 37 or 73. Nibiru, the creation of the gate inside of Pegasus, purple constellation, made from red and blue. Bringing the soul, controlling of the soul, the 1 and the 9, and pool 1608. Yes, what is 2468? A walk, a world, 9 and 4, 4 by 4, 5 by 5, 64, 68. Yes, 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 yes. I'm trying to see. You know, you can go 28 man, you can go 28 Celsius if you want. 9 and 2, very important. Both 9 and 2 comes from the numeric value of 11, and it comes from the numeric value of 1 and 6, or 6 and 1, mathematically in the star system. But in the 1 and 6, it'll be a minus effect inside of it. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6, 7 and 6. 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 equals 42. Minus 13 equals to 29. Yes, 4 and 2 cat's eyes. 4 and 2, sometimes I'm thinking referring to the jack. Okay, because the jack card has 6 eyes on 4 jacks. 2 eyes, 2 cards of 2 eyes, and 2 cards of 1 eye each. So we can try and understand what's happening there. The queen has 8 and the king has 7. And although you look at the mirror of the queen, it'll have 8 above and 8 below. The king will have 7 above and 7 below. The jack will be 6 above and 6 below. 21, 21, 21. 63. Born to I am. If God was in I am, then you are, the letter R, as the is the letter I. 56, 567, Casino Magic, Pro Cards, Square Fox, Trains, Box, Coat, Eaters. Very interesting. I like this. I like that. The same thing is, I'm working on some X's and O's right now. I'm just trying to calculate their value based on the position of the alphabet, or in Roman numerals, X equals to to 10. And the O, right, can also look like a V. So, but I don't want to leave out any pieces and parts. Well, I'm not sure, but Netanyahu, my rooster. Right, right. I'm not sure if you're thinking the same thing as me. The guy in the Israel, right? The thing that is real, right? The eggs, the CC 10,000, X-Man 10, 10, 410, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, I need to be explained that. 1827, yes. Fourth and fifth dimension. So what happens when you want to go one step higher or one step lower, I multiply it, right? I'll go 5 times 6, 5 plus 6 equals to 41. And if I want to go lower, it'll be 4 and 5, and that'll equal to 29. The difference will be 12, and the numeric value will come out to 5 and 2. So Earth, the numeric value for Earth's connection in that 911, because we do know Roman numerals. Let me do this before I end the video. The M can also be broken up like this, which is 4, 5, and 6. We also know we can do this to it, and it'll be 8. So when we do this, it can be this, this, and this as well. This will equal to 40. This one over here will equal to 31. And this one over here will be 49. 22, 9, 9, and 9 is 27, and 22 is 49. Did I get that right? Also, the word 8 equals to 49, reconnecting the heavens between Pluto, the birth, and Mars. So we now have Pluto, Mars. It's got to be accepted, Bruno Mars, Pluto, Mars. So once we accept this over here, right, we're now connecting inside of it both the seventh gate through Earth and Mars. V1, V11, 4, 5, and 6. Here's your letter M that comes together. Are you following where I'm going with this? So when Pluto, Mars come together and create this numeric value, that numeric value is the ace, creating the division. So we're showing you how A, B, C are in one world. We gear out to the 5, which with the 5 is the 9. So now I'm going to have to do this and know that here's the 5 and here's the 9. So now what we do is we recreate another cube over here, and I'm assuming we flip it upside down. So we get 9 here and 9 here. Then this one, we flip the cube again. Either we keep all the corners at 9, or we can shove any number we want. Now the question is this cube rotating in this area? I'm not sure if I should put all cubes or keep a straight rotation in this area, but we still have to understand using area space, right? Empty voided area space. When this turns, this will go into here. So even though we have 2, we're using all 4 areas. And then I'm assuming that we only use 3 areas at a time in reality, but the clock uses all the areas for its movement. I'm trying to understand that relationship. So basically, also you have to understand that when the number 1 plays a role in number 9 and the number 5 plays a role in number 9, what's left over? Earth and Venus? Well, the spirit is playing a role inside of Earth, and so is Venus. Both the spirit are playing a role inside of Earth and Venus. And we end up with the numeric value of 52. But you also have to look at this another way. Before I end this video, is that if I say 5 and 2 or 52, or you don't hear me right, you don't know if I'm telling you 5 2s, 2 5s, or a 2 and a 5. So it can also be misrepresented. And since I can think of it, and I'm quite sure other people have also, it could be misunderstood. We have to understand the whole equation. Thank you to Wayfar person for your translation, I believe was. Okay, and that's funny because they're now starting to use this new element, and I forget what it is, or there's a movie that's coming out. Yeah, sorry I can't put up all the what's it called, but I'm looking at them all, trying to see if something's gonna wake me up. I like that 7x51 that I did. 357, you know what it says? I'm gonna write down 357 in short. 7, 3, 5. Energy at the gateway. There's some kind of energy at the gate. I have to understand the letter G. I have to redesign these letters again. And one of the ways to understand the G is with 16, 25, 52, 61, 34, 43. I also have to understand 7 by going 9 minus 2 and 8 minus 1. I also have to understand it if I went 2 plus 1 plus 4 equaling to 7. So I need to understand how I get to 7, the relationship. Now, also note that when I was talking about the Z, right, and the N, also note it's on the, one is on one side of the alphabet, one is on the other side of the alphabet. No, they're both on, wait, yes, they're both on the other side of the alphabet. I'm just trying to think what else it is. Yes, Q is a reverse of J, and J is created through D. A, B, C, D, 10 equals to J, which what it does is it turns. Every time you get the fourth one, you're turning. You're seeing a mirror. The other thing I wanted to talk about is when I hold these two sides, they're going right through. And then the four sides, right? When you see the four sides, like around here, you're going to do this. When you're just looking here, you're going to do this. One is a pull, one is a cross. One is a pull, one is a cross. In here, it's a crisscross, this way and this way. Here, it's just a pull, up and down. That's the way I want to look at it. So is the pull up or is the pull down? You see there's nothing here. All the opposite of the poles won't have a pull. You see, if I flip this over, I'll get the 3. There'll be dot in the center. If I see number 5 with a pull, I'll turn it over. The 2 will not have a pull. The 1 will have a pull, but the 6 won't. But 6 and 1 is the only way to get 7. Every other one is going to be a reflective placement of the dots in the corners. So there's 4 sides of 5 and 2 sides. Let me do that again. There's 4 times 5 equals to 20 and 2 times 7 equaling to 14. There's a total of 34 reflective dots on this here. Now, when I do that, there's going to be 20 areas that'll never see a dot. There's going to be 20 areas on here that'll never see a dot. See, when I flip this over, right, all these dots are used on the other side, but these 4 in between are not. This area over here, there's 8 on the outside. 6 are being used, 2 are not. So you can see the 2 that are not being used, 8 and 2, man. Here, we did that one already. On here, there's going to be 4 that won't be used. And there's going to, oh, sorry, let me see that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 that won't be used. Did I get that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, there's 4 that won't be used because the other side is going to fill up that one over here, that 5th spot. Let me see. Here is 4. Here is 4. So all the sides are 4. Did I get that right?
4 times 6, 24. Did I get that right? I'm tired. Okay. We're going to end the videos. Let me go through the last ones. I'm just tired. Peek over the fence, a blue house. I like the fringe benefits. 28 and 4, like the wisdom teeth. 33 in rotation of the sun. Jesus Christ coming down. Christmas. Trees will be upset. Think the cat must carry his own basket. But remember, Mars Bars Chocolate Company went out of business. I have no desire to go to Mars. Yet the cat can carry his own basket. Van Kilmer barely made it there. Right, I think that was a movie. Go Jail, The Bird, Irony, Try, Can I Trust Floppy Dots? Another thing is about the dot is that if you were at a popcorn machine, right, it only opens, the door opens from this side and the door opens from that side. And the other one, the straight bar across, is holding up the machine. But inside, there's no bar inside. You can spin everything around on the inside. It's only holding up the outside. So how area space is also being occupied. I know I'm not saying much right now. Peace and love to everybody. I'm stretching. Oh God, we have to get this rolling. We have to get the ball rolling. I like working alone. It's really the only way, but it's fun to work with others, with an assistant that I can get a little bit deeper. Because once this breaks loose and we can get the ball rolling a little bit quicker, create some kind of system so we can get answers, deeper answers and stuff, because they can find what I easily find myself. All we have to do is fill in the formula. Peace and love to everybody. We're done.